Hello. Today I would like to talk about time travel. And I'm going to share my own experience with time travel. But before I do, I just want to say that in the seventh feta, where we talk about creating something out of nothing, there's a lesson called Time Does Not Exist. And I can warmly recommend you to watch that lesson. There will be lots of information in that I think you would enjoy. So I have had multiple experiences with time travel, and the first one that I had, where I became aware of what it actually is, started when I was a child. I had a very violent childhood, and there was one instance where I remember I was lying in my bed and I was crying, and it was nighttime, and I was facing into the wall, and suddenly I felt someone behind me. Now, throughout my entire childhood, I have always seen beings. I'm autistic, so we have a different relationship with what is here and what is not here, and what normal people call hallucinations and all that. For autistic people, it's just not. It's just part of being us. So I have always seen beings. I've always had three people with me that were always there to guide me and help me, and it's just part of how it is. Just like with synesthesia, that we can, for example, I can smell disease, I can smell emotions, and I can feel colors. And so there's not the normal distinction between experiences for an autistic person as there is for a neurotypical person. So I have always felt beings around me. I used to think it was ghosts or it was spirits or something like that. I'm not so sure anymore. But it's always been there. It's always been part of my experience. So I was lying in my bed. It's been particularly violent, and I was lying and crying. I was facing into the wall, and suddenly I felt a being right behind me. And it was experienced then like an angel that came and sat with me on the bed and stroked my hair and said, "It's okay." And I just felt so much love growing in me. Um, while the being was sitting there and comforting me, and it ended with me falling asleep. But the experience was so real, and it gave me, even though my childhood continued to be super violent for a lot of years, I kept having that feeling of not being alone with this, of not being um alone with it, that there was someone else sharing that experience with me, that I had that angel with me or that being with me that was there supporting me. Fast forward a lot of years later, and I was doing a spa retreat in Hungary. I had a group of people and we were doing spa retreats. And one of the things that is amazing with sauna and cold plunges when you switch like that is that you force, for example, you're in a sauna that is really, really warm, and then you go outside, either rolling snow or you go into a cold plunge afterwards, and then you wrap yourself up in towels and blankets, and then you just lie. And what is happening is that the nervous system is getting into homeostasis. So you get from that feeling of being stressed in the heat and then in the cold into a normal equilibrium afterwards. And when you do that, you also a lot of times, parts of the brain that are active in selfing and that are, active in our normal daily life, those parts of the brain get shut off. And other parts of the brain that are active when you're doing psychedelics get turned on, which means that it's very normal to have hallucinations and seeing visions and having experiences that are completely out of this normal world that we normally do not see when we are in this like normal being with the default mode network of the brain being active, because that is turned off. But so I was doing that, and I had done multiple of them, and I was lying and relaxing, and suddenly I had a complete out of body experience. And I was in my bedroom as a child, and I saw myself lying over on the bed, curled up into a ball, crying. and being so, so scared, turned away, and I bent over to the bed, and I was caressing my hair and talking to me quietly and saying, "It's okay. It's okay. I know what is going to happen in your life. You're going to be okay. It's fine. Everything is okay. Just breathe, feel your body. It's okay. I'm right here. You're never alone. I'm always here." And I remember it hit me like a ton of bricks when I realized that my entire life, when I had had those spirits with me, when I had had those angels with me that had calmed me throughout my entire childhood, that was me. That was me. It wasn't, and I know it sounds insane. I also know that a lot of you have experienced exactly the same. That you have experienced that you were the angel that came to you as a child. Um, and I just think that, and this is where I'm going to point to you to go to the seventh feather and work with the exercise that I'm giving you in the time does not exist. Because we know now that time does not exist. We know that change exists. And as a psychobiological being, we experience change, because that is the way that biology experiences it. But in reality, time is a dimension. Time is not something linear. And I would like for you, if you would like to have these experiences, because you can go back to the past and you can rectify experiences that you have had, and you can heal what wasn't healed then. You can be the adult that is the wise adult in your life that you didn't have access to if you grew up, you know, in a dysfunctional family. You can do that today. You can change that today. And your entire experience of your childhood, of the trauma, can be healed because time does not exist. And I would like for you to start to just question the idea that you have of time being linear like that, horizontal like that you have like the past, the present, and the future. And instead of seeing it like that, make it vertical. Everything is happening at the same time. There is not a past or future. There is just a now. Whatever you think about is going to happen in the future, or whatever you think about what happened in the past, it happens right now when you think of it. And that is where you can time travel to areas of your life where you need healing. Um, the key to it, and we've been talking a lot about it because we here at home we do lots of out of body experiences, and the key to it that I just want to say that is really important to be aware of, it is that it's not about visualizing something in your mind. It's not about, because if you go to YouTube and you search about out of body experiences, or you search about, time travel, anything like that, the majority of people out there will tell you to make yourself calm, make yourself meditative, and then visualize something. But what happens when you do that is that you are still in the default mode network. You are still with an I here that is experiencing the world and my experience from here, from a center, which is still ego. It's still selfing. The parts of your brain that you want to be deactivated are super, super active when you're visualizing. So it's not about visualizing anything. It's about feeling it. You need to go from your mind into your body and feel it. It's just like when you want to change the future, when you want to change what is going to happen further down the line. You can't visualize it. If you could, then everybody would just, wish for something to happen and it would just happen. You can't do that because it's activating the selfing, the ego in the brain, and that is not changing anything. What needs to be changed is the 95% of your subconscious that you're not aware of. You, as 100%, is only 5% aware of what is actually happening. That is your conscious mind. It's only 5% of you. 95% of you is hidden in your subconscious. And that is where the change is, because that is what is kind of like pulling the strings and behind the wheel of the way that you are in the world. How you think you are, who you think you are, how you think the world is, and the way that everything is driven by your subconscious, by your underlying beliefs. And that is where the change is. So when you do the time travel, and when you are molding your future, you cannot visualize it. You need to feel it in your body. You need to have an experience in your body of it. In the seventh feather, I'm talking more about that and helping you how to do that. Remember to subscribe so you also see when new videos come out, and like the video, obviously. So put yourself in a position, in a meditative position, where you notice what is arising in your body. It takes practice. I'm not gonna lie. It's not something that is as easy as just visualizing, because visualizing is just fantasy going, and you can do that easy peasy. The mind is doing that all the time. What I would like for you to start to practice is notice your experience without a thought. So when you look out the window and you look at something, you see a tree, right? What you see is not actually the tree. You recognize the tree, and that recognition is just the thought working. It's just your mind that is working. You can't do anything with that. What I would like for you to start to practice is what really is right in front of you. What are you really seeing? What are you really hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching? Not what you think is arising. And when you start to practice that, and you start to notice what is actually arising in my body, the first thing you're gonna experience is that there's like two layers to your perception of reality. There's what you think is real and what is felt as real. And it's only what is felt as real that has any hooks into a previous experience of you, or a future experience of you, because again, time does not exist. Time is a dimension, right? Change exists, time does not exist. So there is no future to do anything for. It's already here, and it's only here. There's only this. There's only this moment. Tolle has talked about that for what, 30 years. There's only this right now. There's only this now, arising right now. And all change is arising now, is happening now, because it's vertical. But it also means that you have full access to everything that feels as if it has happened. You can heal that by the exercise that you have in time does not exist. And whatever things you would like to heal now. So your future is going to be experienced different. It's not the future that is going to be experienced. I just want to reiterate, it's not the future that is going to be experienced differently because the future doesn't exist. Now exists. So it's the now that is going to be experienced differently. And just like dominoes, that is going to change your entire perception of this now, and this now, and this now. So yeah, like I said, I know that it's easier for me as an autist because we have access to those experiences unfiltered in a way that neurotypical people don't. So I know that when I'm sitting and talking about it now, it might sound like, oh, easy peasy. And if you're on the spectrum, it is much, much easier. Do the awakening curriculum. It's made for it's very structured. Because I'm autistic, it's very, very structured. It's very small boxes, and you get lessons that slowly is taking you forward into an unidentified experience of this present moment. If you're autistic, you're gonna love the curriculum because it's really pulling away all of those masking layers that you have that is keeping you on a distance to a spiritual awakening as well, where you're no longer masking and pretending to be someone who you're not. You're allowing yourself to be able to inhale a cloud and exhale a tree, where there's no boundaries the way that you normally perceive boundaries that is happening outside of you. Yeah. If you have any questions, kindly let me know. Thank you. We have created a course of our first feather material. This course will walk you step by step through all of the ways in which identification is created and selfing happens. If you've been struggling to see through the self-structure or have that first awakening shift, this course contains hundreds of tools to help you discover the selfing mechanisms when they're happening, and then see through the illusion of identification that are created. Along with over 14 hours of videos, this $49 course contains a full book worth of summaries, extrapolations on the videos, written inquiry suggestions, and other text. So work slowly, leave time for integration. This is powerful material and it can be life-changing.